So they've said there's about 2,000 comic shops, and some people have said there's a tipping point of maybe 1,000. That if it goes below that, it's not financially viable. I want to hear from Chuck because we haven't heard from him in a bit. Chuck, what do you think about this?
Well, I think we're already past the tipping point, and that's where I keep referring to this, the kind of the dialogues that we're having about how to better sell new comics as like trying to chart a new path for the Titanic. Really, what we have right now is an industry where, absent an infusion of external capitalization, an enormous number of comic shops are teetering on the edge right now. And maybe I'll end up being completely wrong. Maybe some of them will pull back. But going to something that was mentioned a little bit earlier about 20% of the revenues coming from back issues that take up 80% of the store. We have that here at Mile High Comics. Back issues only constitute about 30% of our business, and trades constitute 30%, and then toys constitute about 30%. But there's an underlying basic reality, and that is that the products that we have here are ones that we own, ones that we don't have to order from a supply channel. And something that I have always been paranoid about, and I'll give you just a second of background, and that is that my mom lived through the bombings in World War II and the absolute destruction of the German economy in 1945. And she taught me in bedtime stories when I was a little kid, 5 years old, that you never, ever rely on institutions that you think are going to be around forever, because they're not necessarily going to be. And so what we have right now is a comic book industry that has relied upon Diamond, that has relied upon the fact of, hey, let's focus on turnover, let's focus on maximization of revenue streams within the context of getting stuff every week. That's so lazy. It is being a Diamond catalog outlet store where you're like a Fuller brush salesman, where you're just waiting for your new shipment of brushes to show up. And then you're hoping that the people that promise to pay you actually will, and won't walk up to the counter and say, oh, this one really sucks. I think I'll just put it back. And it is just a fool's paradise. When you put that 80% of your floor space into 20% of your revenue stream, what that is insurance. It gives you something that you have control over. And that's what's been lacking in this business. And that's why it's cratering right now. The question about whether or not the comics industry is going to continue is predicated on how much working capital do retailers have. And are AT&T and Disney going to actually want to rev up their product lines enough to provide revenue streams that are large enough for stores that have been so goddamn lazy? I am going to repeat this for emphasis. Okay, when all you do is you get a catalog in, you hand it to your customers, and then your big skill is compiling the numbers and turning in the order. Give me a break. Okay, that's not really retailing. That's just being an agent. And everybody that's been an agent for Diamond is biting it right now, hard. And so are they going to have the working capital to start over again? I don't think so. I think we've already lost the critical mass of this business. And so looking at the solutions, you can't be looking at the past. People have to start thinking about what the comic shop of the future is going to be all about. And anybody who is idiotic enough to put themselves back into the same scenario of ordering from new product suppliers and not concentrating on collectibles, where you control what you buy, what you own. I mean, if you look behind me right now in this picture, there's 500,000 comics in this one row. I have 20 of these rows. I own them all. I don't give a shit whether there's another new comic published ever again, because I'm going to be just fine. Can anybody else say that? I don't think so, because you all were ordering out of that damn previews catalog. And look where that got you. The minute previews shut down, all of a sudden you had no money coming in anymore. That's
Chuck,
my story.
Wow.
I just wish I could get you to give a real opinion, man. I wish we could really know what you think.
Yeah, well,
Joe,
I'm too old to care. I don't care. I'm tired of the stupidity. I've been doing this 50 years, and I've had people tell me, when I did the Comic-Con movie, Morgan Spurlock, after we were done shooting and everything, he confided in me that I was the dinosaur. I was the guy that was still selling paper, and they wanted to have one representative example of the past, of that which was obsolete and dead for in their movie. And I kind of took that as a challenge. It's like, bitch, I think I can outlast you. And guess what? I'm still here. That's my favorite phrase these days, by the way. Okay, you may be fucking smarter than I am, but guess what? I'm still here.